Welcome to your wealthiest timeline. This isn't just content, it's a frequency field. Every video transmits codes of power, remembrance, and divine prosperity. If you're here, you're not here to learn, you're here to lead, to collapse timelines, bend reality, and build your empire through energy. I'm Eva Kositsky, Wealth Oracle and Guide for leaders who came to live as the vibration of overflow. Let's begin.
Oh yeah, always wanted to be famous, just being real, yeah, just being honest. My haters won't always be nameless, give them no power, I give them no power. Hello, welcome to the Clever Eva Show. Let me push this chair out of the way so we can absolutely slay for your day, welcoming more abundance to come your way, girlfriend. This is your time where you get to shine because you are divine and you are here to taste like mulled wine. Anybody that drinks mulled wine, I used to have it back in the day, but hip, 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 hooray, you're here because you want to go deep with your soul path and understand how this works. We're going to go quite deep today. So strap in, get those seatbelts on, strap in, and let's go on the roller coaster ride, the Clever Eva roller coaster ride. Now, if you've been here, if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, listening on the podcast, if you're listening on the podcast, make sure you give us a 5-star review. If you vibe with this episode, definitely screenshot it, send it to my team, support@evakositsky.co. We're going to send you a free gift. Very exciting. So wherever you are in the world, let me know below. I love serving global audiences. I am so honored and I'm so blessed that so many of you are from different countries. So many of you are not even English speaking as your first language and you still tune in. So I just want to honor you and thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, let's get ready to start because that song's coming through. It's like, now it's ready to start. I'm probably literally butchering the song. Arcade Fire, ready to start. If I was scared, you know I would. If I was yours, you know I could. Now let's get ready to start. So this is it. This is the portal. I don't know who I'm channeling this for, but if you're here, it's because you're ready. You're ready. You've done the training. You've done the training. You've been through the soul initiation. And if you haven't yet done my quiz, You Are Wealth frequency quiz, to figure out what stage of your wealth awakening you're in, just comment quiz below and we'll send it to you. Because there are cycles of this wealth awakening. I'm going to speak to each cycle and I'm going to speak to each soul contract remembrance. Because here's the thing. Your soul is more powerful than the entire third dimensional reality. Like your soul is more powerful than this whole reality. As we incarnate into the physical body, we lose our power because we forget. We have amnesia, we forget. But your soul has chosen a energetic template. In this reality, we use words like soul contract, but in the higher realms, obviously there's no words, it's just vibration. Everything in higher realms is masked off vibration, and then there's like a translation delay gap, if you will, as we come into the third dimensional reality. So let's talk about soul contract. From you being a little girl, and I'm going to use myself as an example because, well, I'm a 4/6 in human design and my whole life is like the role model, being the example and being like, I'm in this with you. I never teach anything I haven't lived. So I get pain greater than most people. I get all of the things greater than most people because I've lived through it. So as a little girl, I always wanted to be a radio announcer. It was always about my voice. It was always like the voice. I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be on the show Getaway. If anyone hasn't seen that show, it was a show about traveling and they'd go in different countries and they'd talk about the places, and that's literally my life now. Like I cannot live a year without jumping on a plane a fair few times because I love traveling, and I think traveling activates codes in your psyche. So from a little girl, I knew that my voice was powerful. And Often when we're little, people will push down what's in our soul contract. So for me, it was like, ever shut up, you talk underwater, you never stop talking. God, she's got the gift of the gab, always talking, 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 talking. So I was ridiculed for my voice, for my gifts, for the fact that I'm really fucking witty. I can talk at the drop of a hat. I can rhyme on time, doing the divine, like shit comes out of my mouth. And sometimes it makes no sense. And I'm like, interesting vibration. But that was my gift from a young age. Now, as I moved, usually what happens in your childhood is almost like an initiation for adulthood. So I went to school in Papua New Guinea for 1 year in grade 4. In this year, I made friends with this best friends group. We created this like singing group, and obviously we had Spice Girls influencing us back then. We created this singing group, and I was on stage singing in front of the entire school with 2 other girls in grade 4 at the age of 9, singing in front of like hundreds of people in assembly. Like somehow we had mustered up this group. We were selling stickers and tapes and would have meetings, and it was hilarious because it just came about. We were writing songs, we were writing albums, and like you all know, I'm not the best singer in the world. I can put it on, I can sing well if I try, but I'm not, singer material. Anyway, I could see like the little snippets of my psyche. So obviously performing on stages, but my life later on is not about performing. It's just turning up, channeling, speaking truth. I'm not here. I don't have a script for you. I'm not trying to be perfect right now. I'm just channeling what God knows you need. And I am the pure conduit in between the voice from the divine to you. So I'm transmitting code so that you can awaken and remember your soul contract. So childhood leaves huge clues to what your soul contract is. I used to sell things. I used to like find golf balls on the golf course, and then I'd sell them to golfers. I used to climb up mango trees and sell mango. So being an entrepreneur was always within me. It was always within me. I was always selling things. I always saw an opportunity and wanted to sell it to make money. So life path number is 8. It was all about wealth, creating material wealth. My parents would always fight over money. And we had money. Like we lived in over $1 million home. So we were living in this life where we had everything. We had a Land Cruiser, a very expensive car, lived in a very affluent neighborhood. We went to very expensive schools, but my parents were living in scarcity. Now, fast forward years later, that's my soul's work. It's people that have everything. And we live in a world where you actually have everything, but you can't see it because you're living in the distortions of scarcity. So my childhood was literally the blueprint for my soul's contract. Now, the first couple of years, you're going to have to be getting over your ego. There's going to be a lot of cleaning, a lot of clearing. You're going to be feeling into the ancestral wounds that you have chosen on your mission to learn your path. You will be tested a lot. For 36 years, I have been turning up every single day. Whether there's one person, whether there's 1,000 people, I turn up. I know that my soul and my medicine hasn't even gotten started yet. I know that God put me on this world, in this world, to change the lives of billions of people. I haven't even started yet. I'm literally like at the ends of my training, even though I'm making good money, I'm being paid to exist. I've been through all of my initiations, but it has been training ground for like 36 years where God's like, are you going to keep turning up? Are you going to keep turning up? Are you going to keep being refined? Are you going to keep being tested? It is me getting so good at my craft. And the cool thing about my life has been because I've turned up for what I've been in business coming up to 14 or 15 years. I'd have to go back and do the math. I've been turning up for over a decade, speaking my truth, regardless of what energetic frequency I'm in. Because of this, I've stripped validation from my field. I don't need you to validate me. I'm literally turning up right now on a camera. I cannot see the comments below. I don't know if there's 1 million people watching. I don't know if anyone's watching, but I'm turning up because that's what I do. Because God put me on this planet to turn up and change people's lives. And I know I'm fucking powerful and I know I'm good at it. And I know that God has put so many people on my path. I know that a stranger walks across my path and within a minute they're crying because I've activated something within them and their whole frequency is shaking and their field's shaking. I know I'm powerful because I've seen it again and again and again and again and again, but I don't use the third dimensional reality to get entangled with my ego, with the What a lot of people do, like, oh my God, I only got one view, I'm not going to turn up again. That's ego. The soul is, by me turning up right now, I am creating new wealth templates. I'm creating fields. I'm building templates in the fifth dimensional realm. Everything that you've ever desired is already here. It's already in this reality. So how I know that things are in my soul contract: when I watch documentaries of famous people on stages, my whole field starts crying. I literally start shaking and crying because I know that I'm meant to be on that stage. And it's not this piece where it's like, oh, you're not there yet, you should be there now. It's not like that at all. It's just, hey, you're going to be on that stage in this lifetime. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the unfolding. I love so much that I've been on this journey of building slowly, of enjoying, creating a foundation, because I've been turning up for years. The way that I've been turning up, I have no expectation of the physical reality. Every single day when I do TikToks, I get hundreds and hundreds of comments on my TikToks. It doesn't faze me. I don't respond to them. I send them love. I've transmitted the field. I've transmitted the frequency. Whereas an old egoic version of me would be like, oh my God, look at all these comments. Look at all these comments. And you get entangled in the third dimensional reality. The third dimensional reality is old news. It's past versions of you. I know that I am already the $1 billion version of me. I am so freaking powerful. I know that the $1 billion has already manifested in this lifetime, but I'm enjoying the unfolding, because when you desire it, it's already in the template. It's already in the fifth dimension. Every single thing has already manifested in the fifth dimensional reality. But the third dimensional reality has to align with the mind, the body, and the soul for it to physically manifest. And that's the journey, because your physical body isn't yet at the capacity to receive that goal. And that's why we go on these journeys where we're shifting, where we've got to get beyond our ego, where God is calling us. So let's speak to this for a second. If you are a very, very, very old soul, which you all are, you're all very, very, very ancient souls, you've got a soul contract. In this dimension, you have free will. You absolutely have free will. And I look at it a little bit like a video game. There's going to be grid points in this field where in past lifetimes you only made it up to that grid point, you only made it up to that place. And I've done a lot of past life regressions, and I've seen a lot of similar themes in soul contracts as to why my soul chose this lifetime, why my soul chose this contract. I have seen past lives where I killed myself because of isolation. And in this lifetime, I had to heal the isolation. I had to be like, okay, cool, it's safe to work with other people. You don't have to be a lone wolf anymore. You can work in the wolf pack. You can let people into your space. And for a lot of years in this lifetime, I was so insanely isolated. Oh my God, I cannot tell you how isolated I was. There were people around me, but I felt so fucking alone, and I had to sit with that, and I had to heal that, because in this lifetime, I was not going to kill myself. And I did actually meet that grid point at 18, because I was in and out of the ER 4 times for trying to kill myself. And God was like, okay, sort your shit out. I'm not going to let you die in this lifetime. Get the fuck back up. Keep going. And I've kept going, and I decided that day I'm never going to do that again, because that's just not me. That's not the vibe. We're here to live a legacy, create generational wealth for every single person. My work in this lifetime is to redesign and recreate new wealth templates for the collective consciousness. And that is through being instead of doing. That is through creating this new earth frequency, this new earth template. So back to it. Your soul contract. So a lot of people will come in and you'll have that grid point, that piece where maybe you failed it in a past lifetime. And I don't want you to get disheartened by failure. It really is just your soul wasn't able to get over your ego at that point. And in this lifetime, you remember, and you were able to get over that grid point. So we keep moving through life, and there's these common themes that a lot of people have in their soul contract that they're going to need to transmute in this lifetime. Now, how the soul contract works, and how I kind of like to explain it for your logical mind to comprehend, and how being in this reality works with God, angel, source, universe, fully aligning. God, angel, source, universe, whatever you want to connect to, whatever you want to call it, it knows your soul contract. It can see the whole world, see everything that you desire, that you chose before you incarnated. But when you're down in this dimension, it's hard to see it all. You're blinded by the light. You're completely blinded. And so God will whisper, it's like you're going to get the quantum whispers, but depending on energetically how dense your physical body is, how dense your egoic distortions are, how dense your programming is, will come down to whether you hear the call, whether you hear the whisper, and whether you're ready to act on it. Example, the first sort of major whisper, I had a lot of whispers when I was younger, but they were really like instinctual. I think my guides were like, she's so in her ego, like, let's just make this easy for her, like, leave that guy, get out of that relationship. And I'd kind of do it from my body, just knowing, I think, my spirit guides. And I don't think you would actually realize how much your spirit team is helping you every single day. You probably just think, oh wow, like I'm good. It's like, no, you literally have a billion guardian angels that are like trying to push you in the right direction. Sometimes ego can be so distorted and so encoded in your field that it's hard to move like that. So mind, body, and soul, you get the whisper, it comes through. Now, depending on how much ego you have is going to be able to, like the first time a healer actually said to me, she was healing my body and she said, I don't know why I need to say this to you, but you need to leave your husband. I think it took me like 3 years after that. I have to have a look, but I was like, oh my gosh, no, crazy woman. I was so deeply programmed into the matrix conditioning that, you know, when you get married, you stay married with them forever. We had 2 kids at the time, I believe. And I think I was pregnant with my 3rd. Anyway, long story short, it just kept getting louder and louder and louder. And if you're not listening, because you're an ancient soul, if you're not listening to this whisper, heaven and earth is going to make it like that path is no longer available to you. It's going to get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. And it's just going to get to the point where you're like, fuck, like you're experiencing pain in your body because it's like, this is not your soul's contract. This is not your path. Wake the fuck up. And so I did the hard work, and it's not easy. It's not easy cleaning up the mess in the 3rd dimension because years and years of being out of alignment. And so I had to, you know, leave my husband, move to a different country, make sure I never went back to my husband that still would be with me to this day. And it's challenging and it's hard when you know that something's out of alignment because you've outgrown that path. I had healed so much, I had evolved so much, and I'm always doing the inner work. I never stop doing the inner work. And so whisper, whisper, whisper. Anyway, when I got to Bali, my field started to become really, really, really clean. Obviously, different countries have different energetic frequencies. Different countries are like different timeline portals. And so every country is going to have a different thing. And what you have to understand about frequency is that every single thing in your reality is a frequency of what you have manifested based on the vibration that you're in. So if you're evolving very, very, very quickly, which I always am, my soul's like, get rid of the villa, move out of there. Like, I can't hold on to material possessions, the phase I'm in right now, because I'm evolving so fucking fast that it's like, okay, cool, that's gotta go, that's gotta go, that's gotta go. And when you're holding on to things, people, places, countries, opportunities, you're not evolving very, very quickly, and that's okay. But it's just saying that, like, when you're moving house, your whole frequency is shifted. When your people are leaving your field, frequencies are shifting very, very, very fast, or people are either evolving with you at a really, really rapid speed. So when my ego started to die a lot and I started to really, like, you'll have a first major death cycle, which for me, that was when I left my husband. It was a huge death, you know, everything, the house, the country, my dogs, like everything fell away. It was like I was a whole new version of me. I'm not the same version that I was back then. And when the ego dies more and more and more and more and more and more, it becomes really, really loud, really apparent. When I get the call, my whole field is like, oh, like I get pulled really, really, really intensely, and I can feel it very, very intensely. And you might go, oh, but Eva, you're an energy worker, like you feel energy really, really easily. When you can kind of look back on your life and go, yes, I was guided then and I moved here. I was guided to move to that city. Like, you all have this ability where God, angel, source, universe is pushing you, guiding you, moving through you. And when you can start to align to that, usually what I like to say is, like, if you feel like doing something, like some people will go, oh, Eva, I feel called to your Brazil retreat, but I don't know, like, if it's ego or not. Of course it's not ego. Unless you go to retreats every single month and you're an obsessed retreat junkie and you're just going to retreats to escape life, it's the call. You're meant to come. And a lot of people don't understand these calls. And so it's looking at, like, if there's something that you're doing repetitively all the time, and like a lot of people, like for me, for years, I was always doing coaching programs. I was always doing certain things. because I was an obsessive learner, and God took me down a very, very, very different route where it was like, stop working with coaches and start getting really good at your medicine. So in the last couple of years, I haven't worked with any coaches, anyone in business, because the thing is, how anyone teaches me around business is not how I run my business. My business is run a very, very different way. I get the call and I move. I get the call and I move. I can't plan a year ahead because I get the call and I move. And everything in my business is just called and then moved. The last couple of years have just been me advancing my healings, my shamanic practices, my energy work, understanding the female body better. Like everything I do is so I can serve you better. It's not so I can set up my business to make more money better. And or shift my mindset. My mindset's already clean. It's already good. I already know that I'm the $1 billion version of me. I already know the billions are coming. I'm not stressed out about whether money comes or whether it doesn't. I just let God do and life do what it needs to do. And I'm just here enjoying the ride, enjoying the journey, living life in a really, really, really unique way. What I teach is not from textbooks or things that I'm regurgitating and remembering and reciting to you. It's through channeling and downloading. Although I read a lot and I love knowledge, I am integrating it, learning and applying it, seeing how it works for me, and then I'm channeling from higher codes, from higher frequencies. That's why my work can be a little bit random and a little bit different. So back to the call from God, there's going to be a manifestation shift. So what's going to happen and what needs to happen for the piece of the soul contract to activate and be made manifest in the physical reality is you're going to get the call. You're going to get out of the way of your ego. So you're going to get beyond the ego. So example, you get the call to come to the Brazil retreat, and then the ego's loud. It's like, oh my gosh, but I don't have the resources. I don't know how it's going to work with the kids. What will my husband think of me? He always thinks I'm spending money on myself. All the shit comes up that is egoic distortions. Because when God gives you the call, God's not looking at your resources, your ability. God's just like, are you willing to answer the call? Do you want your soul's highest timeline or not? Because the thing is that the version of you that's living on the soul's highest timeline is limitless when it comes to resources. So you need to move limitlessly on this dimension, even though it doesn't look like it's going to happen. You move and the path appears beneath your feet. And that's how it works. And most people don't have this ability because they get scared, because they move in fear. They freak out and they go back and they go 10 steps forward and 2 steps back. And they try to move safely. And while this is okay because you want your nervous system to stay safe, what I like to say to people is take the middle path. You know, the top one might be too scary and your nervous system might freak out. The bottom one might be too safe, but the middle path can be like, okay, cool, I need to do this. Let me figure out a way to do this. Let me move in accordance with this. And you're in the discomfort of it, but you're not stretching yourself so far that your nervous system is going to freak the fuck out and then fall all the way back. So when you get the call, every time you get the call and you don't do it, every time you get the call to work with a coach, to go on a holiday, to speak to a stranger, to buy a book, to read a book, to go sit in the sun outside, every time you get the call and you don't move to the call, you're choosing your survival timeline over your soul's highest true wealth timeline. This is why some people live their dream lives and other people do not. The people that are living their dream lives every single day are answering the call. It makes no sense. It's illogical. You're moving with intuition, but you're trusting it. You trust that when you go sit outside and you lay in that sun, the download comes in because you were compliant with source, with God. But most people can't do this because their ego is too tightly wrapped and too conditioned to be like, oh, I couldn't do that. No. And it's like, well, if you want a life no one in your bloodline has ever lived, you have to be prepared to answer the call to these limitless possibilities. And you have to trust, and you've got to back yourself, and you've got to move in compliance, move in source, remembering that this is your soul's contract. You were made for this. You are a warrior. You are courageous. You are brave. And all it is your ego dying. Your ego is just like, oh my God, we're not the person to be that brave. We're not the person to take risks. We're not the person to move in alignment with our soul's truth. We're the person that stays safe. We're the person that lives Groundhog Day 2,000 days a year. So my point to this is when you get the call, move. Because when you get the call, you're answering your soul's contract. And you will doubt it. I had this woman years and years ago that came to one of my events, and she was like, I really want to work with this coach. Do I do it? And I was like, just fucking do it. Like the doubt that comes up is a purge. So you're getting the call. Everything that's coming up is purging. Amazing, amazing. The ego's dying. The ego's dying. And what most people on the planet do is go, oh my God, the ego's half dead. I'm going to go back into the chrysalis, and they never grow their wings to turn into a butterfly. It's worse staying stuck. And then you start getting in limbo, and then you're getting confused, and all this shit's happening. It's like, trust. The worst thing that can happen is nothing, because you're always alive. You're always divinely held. Nothing in this reality means anything. I always know that, like, if everything was taken away from me and I was living on a couch and I had nothing left, I have billions, trillions of information inside me. I am so fucking powerful. I don't let the physical reality mean anything about me, because you could be homeless today, you could be a billionaire tomorrow. When you are moving in cadence, in rhythm to God, angels, sources, timeline, you are being routed into places you don't know. You can't see the storm ahead that you're being rerouted to go a different way. And you can't see the timeline that your higher self, that God, that angel source can see. And so it's like trusting in the process, and stop trying to let your ego win in every situation. Your ego is trying to keep you safe. Your soul, your highest timeline, is trying to take you places that you've never been. And so you can jump on the magic carpet and you can ride and you can move and you can glide through life. And yes, it's going to be a little bit scary at first, but then guess what? You're going to see how blessed you are because you took the risk. Miracles only come when you shift timelines. That's why things are not working. That's why things feel stagnant. That's why they feel stuck, because you haven't done anything different in a long time, because you haven't taken a massive risk in a long time. I have never had somebody that's come on one of my retreats that has said that their life stayed the same. Every single person was like, that changed my whole fucking life. And it's like, yes, because you jumped on a plane, you got over yourself, you got over your ego, you did something that you've never done in your entire life. You did something that nobody in your bloodline has ever done. So of course, you're operating on a new timeline where the rules don't apply to you, where you are a walking miracle, where opportunities are falling into your lap every single second because you were brave enough to answer the call. And the call was made for you. And you chose and you manifested that call. And this is what you have to remember. You manifested that call. Your higher self manifested that call because you asked for bigger months in business, because you asked for more clients, because you asked for all of this stuff. And you can only see one tiny little puzzle piece. But because you asked for it, you manifest the coach, you manifest the teacher, you manifest the retreat, you manifest the new house, you're manifesting, and you're like, oh, I don't want it. And God's like, okay, well, you asked for more money, so this is the portal, this is the ladder to more money. So, okay, you don't want to take it. Interesting. You're welcome to stay the same. And then the money never comes because you never answered the call. You never took the risk. And that's how God, angel, source, universe is working through you every single day. So I hope that this has helped. If you're new here, definitely check out the wealth frequency quiz, comment quiz below. If you're very, very new here and you want to get activated and unlock your wealth codes on the deepest level, get my book, You Are Wealth. Or if you are watching this before the 11/11 portal in 2025 and you feel called to come to the Brazil ayahuasca and Kundalini retreat, definitely comment below, send me a DM, check your emails, because this is only for people that are in my community, that are in my world, that have worked with my frequency before. I love you. I see you. You are exactly where you need to be. There is no linear timeline to this. There is no linear thing. This is just consciousness, and you are just going around and around and around, raising your frequency, stepping into new layers, new dimensions, new ways of being. And it's also beautiful. It is also beautiful, and everything's serving you. And I was talking to my son last night. He is, God, I'm the worst mom when it comes to ages. I believe he's 11. Pretty sure he's 11 now. God, he could be 12. My gosh, I'm 2013. Anyway, I'm someone that I just live life. I don't really look at ages or numbers. Sometimes I forget my age. Anyway, we were talking about like all these beautiful things, because like I've connected to the spirits of all the material possessions in this lifetime that I know I'm calling in, because I wouldn't desire them if they weren't mine. And he's like, yeah, I can't wait to be like going first class, private jetting, all these things. And I'm like, yep, can't wait to take you first class as well. And I was talking to him and I was like, you know, the villa that we live in now is so beautiful. I'm so grateful for it. I'm actually moving out very, very soon because I'm going on a whole nother journey, whole nother adventure, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. But what I was talking to him about is what makes first class so delicious is sitting in economy for years because you know the pain of being in economy, and it's never forgetting where you've come from. It's never forgetting, like, I will never forget that I was homeless. I will never forget that I was broke. I will never forget what it's like to have nothing left in your bank account and literally be so skinny because I was so depressed I wasn't eating. I will never, ever forget those days because they are my contrast. And the reason I live heaven on earth today is because I lived decades of hell on earth. God will never let me forget hell on earth. And that's why I went through it for so long, because I know that I'm going to experience the polar opposite in next level ways in this lifetime. And I already live heaven on earth, and I barely even just begun. The reason you're going through what you're going through is so you never forget where you started to how good life's going to be for you. Life will never be delicious if you started with the billions, with the trillions. Like, if you had everything that you ever want, life would not be as delicious. It's the journey that makes life so beautiful. It's the people, it's the experiences, it's the beautiful, beautiful things. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know how you're going. I haven't really done 30-minute episodes for a while. So if you do like the longer ones, if you like the shorter ones, let me know. If you're new here, let me know. I love serving you. I love being a vessel for you. Let me know what else you would like me to speak on. I usually just follow the channel every single day to help you guys. It's crazy how normal this work is for me, and I always sometimes forget that it's not normal for a lot of people, that people do get a lot from this. So yeah, if you're new here, say hello. I love you. I see you. You're very, very, very ancient, ancient soul. And you are about to step onto the magic carpet. This is going to be your wealthiest timeline yet. You would not have found me if it wasn't. God put me on your path because you are ready to activate heaven on earth in insane ways. You are breaking the trauma cycles. The pain did not start with you, but it ends with you. And remembering that when we fully step into this throne energy, there's no more pain. We don't need pain to be a teacher anymore. This is heaven on earth. And this is the true wealth template that our soul wanted for each and every one of you to experience, to live into, because this is the new earth. This is the new earth frequency. It's so fucking easy. You get paid to exist. You get to have fun. You get to be in your joy, your play, your bliss, your overflow, and really just step into a life that's so much more magnificent than what you know. Big love, wealthy old souls. Mwah!
Thank you for being here today. If you feel activated from this episode, please leave us a like, please hit the subscribe, and please share whereabouts in the world you're viewing this from, or your biggest takeaway. It's such an honor to serve you today and remind you how powerful you truly are. If you'd like to go deeper and unlock your soul's medicine, and click on the link below. I love you. See you again soon.